What's this, while we're waiting, what's the status on posting for another? Somebody to recommend?
I know it was posted, I saw it on Facebook. Showed all the openings, so. There's a lot, there's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Not that I want to mess up our little group, but I need to have a fifth, just in case we have a.
All right, go ahead and call story. You all good, Tom?
Yeah, it started.
Cool. Regular meeting of the Logitech's Advisory Board for Trinidad. It's 9:06. Roll call, Kyle.
Yes, here.
Chris.
Here,
Eric.
somewhere wandering the street.
So hopefully he'll join us at some point this morning. First up, approval of minutes from the January 6th meeting. Don't know if folks have had a chance to review those or not. If you want to take a peek, they're in the drive. Otherwise,
I can move to approve. Chris? Or are we looking at him now? Okay, sorry. It's like, who are you texting?
I thought we were gonna have two people here today besides you.
Tara's supposed to be here, maybe she's just running late.
And it was,
Yeah.
somebody from the city about Santa Fe Trail.
Yeah, they didn't want to meet right now because they're maybe just want to push it off just a little bit. They just want ready and they have a lot of things going on with payroll, so it just was a timing thing.
Chris, are you reviewing the minutes?
Do I?
Are you reviewing the minutes right now?
I made a motion to approve.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Cool, minutes approved, so we don't have Tara. So we'll move on to old business for now. First up, gravel guide updates. We were looking at doing the grant. Heard from Victor to hold on that. So did that come from Tara?
Yes.
So it's not like there's concern around ownership.
Ownership and some other things I think that happened previously with this partnership that it's starting to come to light. And we could go into
Yeah, which we had talked about and I thought had been resolved.
we could go into details about that.
Yeah, I'd like to hear from her then if
Yes.
there's concerns from that level. And I mean, maybe we can hash it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we were just something, but now we won't make it, so.
Yeah, the deadline is Thursday.
Okay.
So without knowing that we have the match in hand, I mean, I would feel pretty confident that we would get it, the match, but I would hate to do all the work for nothing. It's definitely not a short grant. I don't think it's going to be that tough, but
No, I was looking at it last night,
Yeah.
just in case.
there's a number of moving pieces for it. We also did, they had a free questionnaire that closed, if not last week, the week prior, and they said highly encouraged to do the pre-questionnaire. So that probably would hurt our chances a little bit. So we'll see. I mean, in the end, if we want to go ahead and crank it, it's a good opportunity.
I'm out of town next week though, I just will not be able to make it. I'm leaving tomorrow. Shoot.
So we'll see what Tara has to say about that. I'd still like to get that reprint done one way or another. So.
Sorry. No, wasn't sure it was.
Victor, were you guys able to dig up the previous contract?
I have just a rendition of what they were going to do with that contract. There's actually no record of this
Wow.
at all.
Interesting.
But,
And I had asked him when I called him if there was, and he said, no, I can just shoot you a new proposal. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Yeah.
Well, even that proposal he sent
Wasn't the
I mean, he was
proposal.
typing this thing on a piece of paper, yeah.
yeah, so there's some major concerns from city staff that we may not want to proceed with this specific company. But again, I'd like to get more details on why and
Sure.
those issues
Yeah.
were.
Because we have been going around and around about why to stay with them or not stay with them. I had gotten another proposal, but there seemed to be some mitigating things that made theirs, gave them an edge, particularly because of the website that they own and the
Right.
national presence that they have.
Right.
If I'm a gravel rider, I type in gravel riding in Colorado, we're gonna come up, right? And so because of their SEO, and so that was such a.
Yeah, I think it overall makes sense to build on that, but we can talk about it
Okay.
when Tara makes it, and revisit it, it's not gonna be under that grant cycle. It still would be nice to have those in hand this year, if it fits on their calendar.
Yeah, and a bummer, because if we hadn't gone with that, we might have come up with something else for this particular grant. Have you been given enough time to talk about this?
Yeah, well, let's not lose sight of that next one, which is our window, the marketing grant, not the marketing management, but the one that's more for, campaigns or assets. So we can be more proactive on that front, because it's free money. Cool. Other item of old business, which probably we'll just leave on the agenda, I would say in general, is just any ideas to send to DIQ or other things to supplement what they have going on. Victor, have you had your initial meeting with them, or is that?
It's supposed to be this Thursday.
Okay, cool.
So I think we discussed maybe us going through some ideas and then meet with them
Yeah,
a couple of days after, so it's supposed to be this week.
okay. So I'm just gonna read that out before if anyone has anything percolating or.
My only thought is, so I have a meeting with a bunch of media people up in Denver this week and about tourism, because of the voters guide that I do. And so, I'd love to start making some inroads in getting people to come here starting in the spring. And so I can't remember where we are on that in terms of earmarking either some funding or who would handle, asking different venues to, do some pro bono stuff, some comps for them for a fam trip. But I'd love to keep that conversation going because I have that ear and that potential to, introduce people to you. Like I said, when I wasn't trying to step on your toes about the email, but I've never met that guy. I'm hoping to meet that guy who wrote the story with the 10, he had La Junta in there, right?
The
flyer.
coast, yeah.
Yeah, he's a new reporter, but I'd still like to see us, doing some outreach with them and, getting on their radar, because that's how it works. I mean, having been on the other side, the way this goes is, it's a beast that needs to be fed, right? Westward they are looking for road trips constantly, right? They always need stories. And if you can keep, poking at reporters, like, hey, don't forget that we have this happening here. When they go to do it, then they're like, oh, that person from Trinidad let me know that there's this, and that's an easy slot for them.
I think
The easier for them, the better.
What you're talking about, those funds to house them or out of part of the advertising.
Do they respond to fan tour invitations?
Some do, some don't. The Denver Post can't do fans, but they have funds, right? I have a travel budget. They can come down here and pay for themselves, which is even better, right? But some of the smaller publications, 5280, they're allowed to take as many freebies as you'll hand them. So most magazines do not have any kind of policy against taking freebies. Newspapers, it's a little slushier. Smaller newspapers, not so much, but the bigger, truly legit ones
Those were.
can't.
I watched the chamber down in Amarillo do those fan tours and be so successful.
Yeah.
They have, and then spend a day taking 5 or 6 people to
Yeah.
different places, and the stories, the freebie stuff we'd get out of that.
Yep, that's why I've been pushing for them. They can be incredibly successful. So, especially those top 10 lists, people love those. They have the highest SEO. That's why newspapers do them and magazines do them, because they're so lucrative for them to get the clicks and stuff through. So, yeah, getting on those different top 10 lists is a free advertising, bottom line. So, yeah. So whatever we can do to keep that on the forefront in the next couple of months.
Well, so I would say, You mentioned potentially needing some level of budget. Since you have insight into that, like, I don't know if we want to first approach some local vendors on if they're willing to come or do, you know, half price or whatever.
Yeah.
We could at the same time, we were talking about doing like a giveaway campaign, like a weekend. So
Right.
if we're talking about anyway, I can say, okay, these two things we're cooking up for the year. One is getting press to town. The other is promoting a weekend package and just see what they're willing to do on it. And then we would have a better idea of if we need money and how much that might be for both of those aspects. So
Yeah.
maybe we should divide and conquer as a board on that to approach folks.
Sure. Yeah.
And then we can go to council and say we need X dollars for this effort.
Yeah, and I think it should be minimal. I don't want businesses to suffer because they're giving away freebies.
Right.
You know, we want to make sure there's an ROI here for them. So I'd be happy to take restaurants since that's one of my purviews. Do you want to do outdoor people? Do you want to do think some other
So we gotta get to
locals?
lodging. Yeah.
Lodging?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just tell me what I need to do.
Okay. I can create sort of like a boilerplate that, you know, of like, here's what we're trying to do, here's what we're thinking the result will be, here's who we're approaching for this, and send it, share it with everybody, and then, yeah, go from there.
That sounds good. Yeah, but I think we probably have a decent idea for the usual suspects
Right.
or something like that.
For, as far as who we're approaching or inviting,
Right.
yeah, although I'd like to expand that a little bit. I think there's a lot of untapped.
Oh, I meant,
Oh,
things in
locally.
town, yes.
Yes, yeah. Yes, has everybody been to the new bakery yet?
I was there.
Yum!
I missed the croissants though because they had sold out of everything.
That's all I wanna try.
Same, that's what I wanted to do.
You have to go early,
Oh,
so.
the chocolate tart is, oh my god, the chocolate tart, I was like smearing it all over me. I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Yeah, I was very excited about that.
I forgot about the croissants. I should have went this morning, but you got that.
Where is it?
Where Coley's was. Coley's on Commercial, yeah, just right off me.
Where I live, I'm isolated and don't get all the cool stuff. Yeah.
Got it.
Finish it last weekend.
Yeah, they had a
It was
soft.
a soft opening.
Soft
Yes.
We went there on.
I saw Molly running down there.
Drunk
just
and
as they
I
were
were
about to
drunk,
close.
right?
It was very
I just barely make it.
I
I just
can't
barely
do it.
make
So
it
where you
to,
guys are 6 days.
I've tried a couple of things.
I just barely make it to Arby's.
Gotcha,
That's
yes.
halfway between my house
And here, no, that makes sense.
and Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Okay, so press outreach, anything else that we want to get in front of DIQ before Victor meets?
They,
Well, it sounds like
they sent
we-
me some new reels that they want to post.
Oh, okay.
More of it's about skiing, and then maybe the Kachara. They asked me for some pictures or videos if we have anything in the Kachara area for skiing.
So yeah, that's getting a lot of press right now, so.
So I may have some videos and some photos to send them on the reel. They sent me some mock-ups of the reel. The reels, I was looking at them this morning, so.
Should we have our eyes on those too? Are they still using that? They have that
Yes.
scheduling.
Yes. Do you have access to that?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you want to peek at those
I can't remember
before
what
I
it's
give them
called.
approval, it's like isn't that WordPress?
No, the thing they were using this like social media scheduling thing that lets
Yes.
you put in
I'll
feedback.
send you the link again.
Yeah, I'm sure I can find it.
Okay.
But
Just take a peek at them before I meet with them, before I give a final approval. I think maybe for here on out, you guys should take a look at them before.
Airtable.
Yes,
was-
Airtable.
Well, we would have to make sure the rest of the board has access to that as
Right.
well.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's probably got some type of controls on it as to who can.
So, yeah.
I'm going to confirm if I still have access right now. But yeah, I think that makes
I
sense.
think I want to say I read that there's 9 reels that they're going to release. But it was a quick email. I didn't really get a chance to really go through them. I watched like a small clip of one of them.
Yeah, I still have access. So
And then I saw that you have the 150th set, that party
Yes.
here, right?
This Sunday.
Okay, have they promoted that at all, or?
I think just by Facebook, I think they did like a small little blurb on
Okay.
Facebook, and they're doing any ads in the Chronicle for that or no?
Not yet. I do have emails I haven't read.
You know what would be a cool piece of content for that? I mean, it sounds like they have their social queue set for the next couple weeks here, but that's what, beginning of February for that, right? For the 150th.
Yeah.
So maybe it's some time to do something like this. I think they've done this before, but I've done closer to in this vein, and they get tons of engagement. But using some of the historical photos with like then and now. So just to tie into like the 150th and be like something about like history coming alive in Trinidad or whatever.
And I could also do like maybe a little video of the actual event, and then we could just do a reel around that with old photos and
Yeah.
I don't know.
So something like that, just plant a seed to be like use some throwback photos from the archives. I know that
I could have DIQ do some type of like reel going from old photos to current and just kind of playing off on celebrating the whole 150th anniversary.
Yeah, I think they've probably done that once or twice before, but they play well and it's cool to see. Yeah, good shout on the anniversaries for sure.
And then, did I hear the Trinidadian was coming back?
It's a rumor. I don't.
People have been asking around, but they're asking for somebody to like start to do it.
Okay, so
They're
it's
trying to
not-
find like to bring a board back to.
Yeah. Well, funny, I was in Santa Fe this weekend and people were talking about it. Yes, that's how I heard about it. I was like, okay, I live there. How have I not heard this? So they were like, yeah, we hear it. Because I do think we get a fair amount of New Mexico traffic for that. Or did when at its heyday, right? So, okay, dang, but that's just a rumor.
That's funny that you have to hear it out there.
I was shocked. I was like, what are you talking about?
It may be like a actual.
People were saying it's going to be on Main Street, it's not going to be at the park anymore.
Right, that's what
Like
these people
details.
knew. I mean, these were like Santa Fe residents. And I was like, and they're big music hounds, and so they were.
We could bring that and other kids back. That would be great.
Oh my gosh, yes, please. Okay.
Victor, will you ask JQ for clarity on so for social media review, if we don't get access to the Airtable app, do they want us to each individually be providing feedback? Like we're obviously not all going to be doing it on every single post,
Right.
or would they prefer us to send things to you so it's all consolidated? Just ask how they want to get any input on social.
I think just so there's no confusion that it just kind of the comments come to me and I could give feedback back to them so there's not that flood of just comments coming into the Airtable.
Okay.
But I will check with them. They may be open to like some constructive criticism there.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do it. Anything else on DIQ for Q1 here?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything else pop up, but it's happening. I mean, is the Mitchell, do they have a new exhibit going up? Seems like it's about that time, right? First Friday will be the 6th of February.
Eric's not coming.
Okay.
Oh. I hope everything's okay over there.
Yeah, they have one opening. No, it opened last week.
What opened last week? Okay.
Oh, this is in Texas. Never mind.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't have anything else on the calendar right now.
Saturday. Oh, that's the. Oh, they have the thing that opened on the 17th, right?
That's in Texas.
Oh, that's in Texas?
Like a traveling exhibition.
Oh. They're sending it from Image. Okay. I don't see anything else.
All right. Well, we can leave it at that for now. It's gone. It's out of my head. So I guess that'll bring us on to new business. Lenny, you're up first. Got a proposal from
don't have a proposal.
Okay, just a.
Jen. Yeah, just, I was wondering if you guys were interested in doing these again. They, we put them together, printed, sold the advertising, and then, the city paid for the printing, and they were, distributed locally to the schools. So if they wanted to go out again for the school year, we probably need to get them to start printing by mid-April. Which means they could be starting, selling, designing, all of that. I think the project was fun last year. There were definitely some snags. I'm sorry it landed in your lap.
I think
it was a great program, but
I've seen it. I've heard it, right?
yeah, it could have been better. On our end.
Well, yeah, just the whole, maybe actually having it written down somewhere, how it's working
Right.
would have been good.
And there were a lot of the passports that were turned back in. So we had quite a bit, I would say probably close to maybe 60. No more, I have them all saved.
That
They
one.
redid
That
it.
were completed. Oh my gosh.
Is there a prize for that or anything?
Yeah, if you look in the front, there's a ton of prizes.
Yeah.
Well, I know we didn't get away from getting a stamp.
$100 Amazon gift card, shopping spree at Furiosa, laptop with accessories, commemorative coins, and one night stay at the Garden Inn.
Yeah, I would love to like streamline who's giving away the prizes, so like, Just for Success had the computer, and, the bank had the coins, so there wasn't any real cohesion as to where people are getting their things.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
So we thought, when I had just started, so I thought that all the prizes came here and then we drew the names. But it didn't happen like that.
Okay.
So I'm not sure where the Amazon card was supposed to come from. I don't know if that was supposed to be from the city. So I think that was left. I did manage the Hilton Garden one myself, and I randomly just selected a passport, and I called the parents of the child and told them about the hotel stay. But other than that, I'm not sure. I know the Smokehouse did one, the coins, and then so they all independently did their own drawings. But I think if you read that, it kind of doesn't look like that.
Right.
I think it just needs some more clarity. It's really confusing. And I fell into it not even knowing what this program was, so.
Yeah.
But I think it has some great potential.
I definitely think it would make more sense to have Visit Trinidad administrating all the prizes, so businesses would just bring them to you or bring them to Space Security or whatever.
Yeah, well, because as we talked about last meeting or the meeting before, the state has some serious rules about drawings, and if you didn't give one away, that's yeah.
I would like to know what the total cost was.
I believe it was $4,500 for 5,000. I'll look up the exact amount. I don't think you necessarily need that many this year. I mean, you have some left.
We had
There's
some
only
left.
60 were turned in. That's
I don't think I have that many. I mean, we wouldn't be using the same one, right?
I would imagine not, because they're
2025.
Yeah, it's all dated.
And
Yeah,
it would be lovely if the kids could keep them too. I don't know if they want to, but I would have probably wanted to, like if they could get a ticket or something.
Yeah,
Instead,
for sure.
put a raffle ticket in there and it's signed that they got credit for that one.
Okay, yeah, we have to, because Coley's isn't in there. There's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
And
was
so do you guys take care of going around and getting the businesses and all that stuff?
Yeah, and did the design work, ordered the stamps.
Which city quantity was again? Sorry.
5,000.
5,000 for 4,500.
We probably wouldn't have to order that many stamps again, depending on
Agreed.
those new.
And then what kind of promotion was done around it?
Not too much on our end.
Because
Yes.
this is a nice, and you had to, in order to turn it in to be eligible for prize, you had to fill every single one of them.
There's somewhere in it where it just says 10. That's
Okay,
the reason for
that's-
tickets. And like, I feel like if one of the businesses wants to do extra, like give away $100 or
Sure.
they should be able to
Oh,
have an extra ticket, or whatever, so the kids, whoever wants to go there.
And was it primarily for kids?
Not, that part was not clarified either.
Okay.
Everyone who
Kids
came
it.
in to our shop was a kid.
Okay.
I thought it was.
We had some teams and we had a lot of little ones with their parents who were making the rounds. They would like go around in a day and try to get all.
It was a really great activity for kids and their parents to do something.
And then where were they distributed? Did you take them to the schools, or did somebody have to go somewhere?
Yes, I ended up actually taking them to
Physically
the schools. Well, they exist and it would be a really fun thing for them to do.
Yeah. And then how far out did it reach? Like kids, was it just Trinidad schools? Was it Homey? Was it down?
The one I missed was Primero, and it was just because they had gotten out the day before I could get them to them.
And so I would say, why would we go down to Bertone?
Agreed.
Yeah, okay.
And we were talking specifically, I met with Sai last week, she wanted to talk about bicycles
Yes.
and how to promote that and
Icicles?
bicycles.
Oh,
Bicycling way.
The first 5 got a t-shirt and then everyone else, oh no, they got water bottles and then that was it. That was their going.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, but she was talking about maybe setting up something within this where they have a little bike on them, it's a bikeable route to visit the businesses or something.
for this program?
Could be incorporated.
Well, I love the idea. I don't understand why we wouldn't expand it to adults or like have it
Actually, that's another thing.
different sets of
Especially with those
prizes,
prizes.
right? Yeah, like a laptop. Like I would go.
I know hotel
Get a
stay.
laptop.
Hotel stay is nice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the one thing we did not do is any age restricted businesses. So no cannabis, no alcohol.
Got it. Okay.
They can't be distributed in
Right.
schools. Right.
Makes sense.
Yes. Yes, I really support that idea.
I love how they all have different bonus offers, take your picture in a photo booth and meet me,
And was there a start and end? I mean, it says date of issue, date of expiry. Was there like a stated start and end to this?
Yeah, that's another misleading part. Nobody really knew. It just says will be held through the summer of 2025. That's all it said.
Okay. So clearly we need more structure.
Yes.
And then, so what would our time frame be in terms of, we decide to do this, when do we have to let you know, when does the printing get done, when are these ready?
I want to go to print probably beginning or mid-April at the latest to get them here by the beginning to mid-May for, again, distribution to all the schools before they get out. They were at the welcome centers, and just, so.
Yeah.
Um,
And so did the business
I'll
actually
get
get to be in it?
They did.
Did you pay? And how much did they pay?
It was $150 for a page, $300 for 3 pages. And it came with the stamp and design work. They just,
And the Cherry Creek did all the stamps themselves, right?
we ordered those.
Okay.
We don't have the capacity to make them.
Okay, I still have ours here, the tourism. So it's like, what is the stamp for?
The stamps are pretty cool. They're fun.
They really are.
We
And
could
it's a
not-
great summer program for kids to go and do things besides.
Fun fact, they don't sell ink in Trinidad.
What?
Yeah, I found it at the dollar store. I bought every single one of them. And then I ended up having to buy like a 6-pack off it at Amazon.
Okay,
Because
Ink pads?
because
Yeah. Like,
If you didn't have
doesn't
one-
even have
No.
like a stamp, because so many people are into that.
they think the scrapbooking.
Yes, oh my gosh.
No, so
Okay.
everyone that the dollar store had was bought and distributed, so.
Yeah, so
Problems I
they
didn't think we
have
have.
at the dollar store level, they're looking like, why is these ink pads? We finally got rid of our last
It's
stock.
very crazy, yes. And a crazy lady came in and we
Yeah.
oh, we don't know what she's doing.
It's like an alert on the computer. We sold these.
Okay, well, so I'm intrigued. I think it sounds interesting. What do we want to do?
My biggest question is just kind of our continual debate of internal versus external marketing. Like, this is a program that is much more geared for the city and for our residents. I think it's great because it gets folks out into places that they wouldn't go otherwise. We had a number of people who had never been in the bike shop who came came in for that. And whether they buy something or not, they see what you have and they know where you're at and all that. So I think it's a net plus overall. But in terms of like tourism draw, my biggest question would be, can we get Raton is a good example. Like, yeah, it's not like our primary target, but can we distribute them elsewhere where people might come down, spend a day collecting all their stamps, and to keep it from being really intimidating, where they're like, oh, I've got to get 100 of these or whatever. So
well, I think the 10 pages make sense, and I agree. Could we expand this into a tourism thing? Like if you pick one up at the visitors, like put a stack at the visitor center, and you could get 10 pages, you get a free stay at the Garden Inn kind of thing?
And with that in mind, I would almost be more, it's maybe not as much fun for kids, but we're thinking about like an adult flavored version. We used to get these like drink passports.
Oh yes, I actually edited those in Denver, yep.
Yeah, we did that for a number of years, and that would basically, it'd be like a BOGO type of thing. So instead of just being like you're getting your stamp and you maybe get a drawing for something, that way everybody gets a deal. And so maybe, I don't know if we could possibly expand that to any of our more touristy things, like actual activities to do versus just businesses to patronize. So I'm spitballing out loud here, but yeah, just trying to get more of a tourism bent on it.
Yeah, especially for 4,500. We're very tight, as you know, on funds, and so I would want to see definitely bigger ROI on this.
Yeah, and I'll definitely get you current pricing.
Okay,
and it better not take as long. That was the first time I've taken that long. I had no idea. It's
totally understand.
They all got together and said, we need a different process. This
was for the alternative gravel guide proposal.
Just a shot in the dark here, but would there be like a possibility to do like a virtual version? Like you visit the store online, if there's a video, you could watch a video of like your business or the smokehouse and they provide their own video and then they get, I don't know, I'm just thinking
interesting, no.
like a virtual and they'll still
But
be
they have to
able
give us
see.
their email to look at the
Yes.
Well, about capture.
Well, they'd have to apply virtually, so they'd have to submit that information.
Yes. All right, something to think about. Let's see,
you have like a scavenger hunt type of thing. Or
What?
didn't we have a scavenger?
Yeah, scavenger.
A scavenger hunt.
Oh,
And
yes.
stories.
Who did, I have no idea who even did that. Did the city do that? I think I was walking into that one as well.
Who did that? Were you part of that? Scavenger?
I feel like it was the lighting people.
I was watching it on Facebook.
It was the Historic Society, wasn't it?
Was it the lighting people?
Oh, yeah, it was the Historic Society. And I don't know if we ended up putting it together, but we had this guy coming in the shop for quite a while, and he was asking me about Discord and stuff, so maybe that was his idea, because he was trying to do a scavenger hunt.
What was part of Santa Fe Trail Days? It looks like.
Okay.
Because you loved it.
Did you like Facebook?
About that, I love that. You're
It's
always
got-
hoping to
it's got
give
to be
them that
amplified.
one. Yeah.
No, because I had a lot of people show up here asking me about it. They said, we just need to know the history of when this place was built so they could put it into their.
There was a $1,000 cash prize for that. Oh my gosh.
They were going on at the same time too, which was confusing for a lot of people.
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah, it was from Independence Day to Labor Day, and wow. Ended June 14th at Trail Days.
Yeah, so they would have to find out the history of certain buildings.
Yeah.
And they'd come and ask me when this was built and.
You know this is 4 buildings. We used to.
Do you know anything about this program at all?
Yeah, what I'm not seeing is who won it. Who won the
I feel like it was
$1,000?
announced on.
It was like announced on Facebook, I think.
Okay, well, that's what
Archie
I'm
with
looking
that.
for, is trying to find that. Okay, interesting.
I remember they announced the name because
Okay.
I think I knew the person, yeah. I could find out the name if you're just kind of curious.
Well,
Was there just a one prize? Or was there
it just
a
says
second
$1,000 cash prize on all their announcement pieces, so yeah.
I thought they announced who won at some point.
I feel like it was a female.
Was. Just put her name.
I don't think I did them.
Okay. So, let's revisit this next time. Gather some more info.
Do you guys meet monthly? I know I have.
Twice a month.
I don't have your contact information, this is mine.
He's hard to find. You can find him in the RVs, apparently. In the Dublin. He holds court at the RVs. I love it.
Is that the new hangout spot? Is the Dunkin' Donuts coffee shop?
Yeah.
Like, that's too far to drive.
Yeah, same. I want to walk if I can. So, yeah.
When I tell people Walmart's too far to drive, they're like, that live in big cities, they're like, do you realize how long it takes us to get somewhere?
Right.
You're crying about a mile.
Yes.
Where I live, if I'm gonna go to Walmart, I might as well go to Raton,
Yeah.
Thank you. So, I know with the gravel guide, you had talked about maybe wanting to do the design work. Do you want me to quote it that way too, with an option of us not doing the whole thing?
On the passport.
On the passport. No, I think let's have you do the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Double check.
No, thank you. And thank you for coming today and chatting it through.
It's a great program.
I think it has
Obviously,
some fun potential.
it does.
I know I was gonna bring it, and I apologize, it's running late. The bookstore next to me, they were giving out books, and so they kept a log, and people were coming every month. And so you were seeing that it was consistent all throughout summer, and kids were coming, people were coming to get the books.
We would definitely need to change the gifts, or prizes, and then the dates of when it starts and when it ends, not just throughout summer of 2025. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just an odd thing to do.
And if I also can offer a weird little idea, is that I think these should be in alphabetical order. Because if you're at a place, it sort of makes you have to go through them all to figure out if it's included. Well, I guess there is a thing here.
Yeah.
There's a, sorry, I didn't see that. Okay.
Oh, and the index.
But doesn't it make sense to also just have them in order? That way, if you're at Tarantula and you're not standing up there and Joe's like, do you want this fight or not? And you're like,
Not really, because then it makes them have to go through it, go through each page.
okay, that's
Like, okay, I'm more Tony's Diner, but.
Yeah, okay, as long as I kept missing the index when I was going through, okay. That makes sense, if there's a way to. Oh no, but the index is not the business, it's a weird, what you have to do. You see that? So it's not an index of the business at the beginning. So like you can't be like,
On the last.
end,
Yeah.
okay.
Which page is she looking?
Okay, so what's the beginning for then? What is that?
These are each of the things
You have to do when you're
so
there?
when you're there, yeah.
Okay.
So if you're like, oh, we have time today, pick something you wanna do. You wanna do the history hunt, or do you wanna do
Okay.
so that would be just something, so they're all in one place.
Gotcha.
Just like that would,
Need to do, okay.
and then,
There are some BOGO type offers in here, for sure.
Okay.
The
The little bonus
bonus
things.
offers, not everybody has them.
Okay. Okay, well,
I think you could do away with this from part. don't
I
see it
agree,
being
I agree.
Necessary.
I almost feel like it should be a table of contents sort of thing at the beginning, so that you could know right away at the beginning. Yeah. But yeah, I love the look of it, it's gorgeous. Yeah.
It's an interesting shot of the peak. I haven't seen one quite like that.
I probably would have zoomed out a little bit more, but yeah, I like the colors are pretty.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, it sounds like we just have to, I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to print in April. We
Yeah.
probably need to have go, no go next month. So you guys can get around the businesses and stuff.
Right.
I agree.
and try to get maybe a proposal to the for the next meeting.
Yeah,
That
which
sounds
is, next meeting is,
The 3rd.
And then we can present this to council for their approval.
9 o'clock, same place.
Yes. I don't know, the place kind of is.
it's been changing a little bit, but this is always our goal.
Yes, this is our end
It's our
goal.
goal, and it makes Victor happy too.
Yes.
Right, so we want.
I don't have to walk to City Hall, I don't have to, it's just, it's a
Yeah,
hassle.
no, totally.
Walking up those stairs and
Yeah, whatever.
have to do the printer going constantly. See how quiet it is in here.
It is.
Sometimes. It is today.
Okay, we don't need
I
any
just,
negativity.
I don't want to hear your problems walking over to the city hall. I drive 15 miles into town.
Okay,
Well, cool.
awesome. Thank you.
Well, we can reach out, if we have any other questions before then.
Thanks for letting me drop in on the meeting.
Thanks for coming.
Anytime, anytime.
Yeah, right?
Next up, sounds like we have an advertising proposal from the World Journal.
Yes, they just texted me and said that they're covering a case of the sentencing of a really high profile case.
Oh, they were gonna come.
They were gonna come, yes. So he sends his apologies and he'll hopefully try to make it to the next one if you guys would.
Okay.
Sure.
see.
Wow, we're cruising.
I know. Woo.
This is nice.
So Chris, you're up with radio proposal then.
Okay. Just a quick pitch on why we should, first thing in our additional funds that we have to do outside of the DIQ. The local radio, I've said this many times before, it's not primarily distant tourism, although it does reach people outside. It is excellent and necessary for that soft tourism, which is 50, 60 miles away. They may not be coming to town to spend the night, but they are coming when they hear things, when we can promote them to help make events that are tourism oriented successful. You gotta have local attendance, you gotta have some regional attendance to make them successful so that they do draw in, tourism from, Amarillo, Denver, Albuquerque, etc. What I put on the whiteboard up there is a map, their reach. That is primarily for the mountain, the classic rock station. It is pretty extensive. The other two stations are very similar. Going from up to Pueblo all the way down to deep into New Mexico. There's a lot of smaller communities that basically depend on Trinidad for a lot of their entertainment, shopping, etc. So it is very important. Besides, just the fact that those stations support Trinidad, pretty heavily. You've got to have success at the events that we do promote, the things that we do promote, the attractions, to keep that going. Of course, at Phillips, we're not just on KCRT Classic Rock. We've been running on KBCK, the country, County country, and then also the adult contemporary news AM station, as well as on each of those have their own, app for people that are interested in taking it out of town. what I propose is, we had a $6,000 budget last year. That was pretty good. We're obviously gonna miss January and February to get this paid, and I didn't run very many last year on those 2 months anyway. You can see that's dollar amounts. To figure our rate there should be around $6. Since I haven't negotiated with them, I don't have it yet, but it won't be much more than $6 or $6.50. The reason that the reasoning behind, obviously, with the summer months and stuff, a higher amount of spots run. One of the things about using radio that I've learned, I'm learning more about digital and appreciating that. My daughter hammers it into me pretty heavily, besides what I've learned from you guys. There's so many problems with people using radio that they get lazy, and so your salespeople, they can get you to buy and just throw the spots out there, without any creativity in the spots, without any logical management of when the spots are run. You lose a lot of the impact if you take it and approach it, and manage it. I have learned over the years, if you have 20 spots, you just run them through the week, they get lost. But if you concentrate those 20 spots in 3 days, 3 important days, you push them into better time periods, more repetition, and it's funny, statistics have shown that people think they're running all the time, and they're here, and you get that repetition. So that's the reason that I have scheduled I'm proposing scheduling for the spots to run Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Catch your travelers coming in, catch usually most of the events happening, and then also run them from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. It just, it throws some of those into drive times, which we kind of have a drive time here.
Yeah.
Not like, Dallas Fort Worth or Denver. Amarillo has drive times, but it hits it into those primary times. I think it's imperative that we continue to promote locally. We have the opportunity to do interviews. I don't think we've taken advantage of that in the past. I know that Tara's been, interviewed, and I think this next year we should take opportunities, to have a member from this board, go and do an interview and talk about tourism, talk about, what we add to it. We've had a problem, obviously the board has, in, I guess, proclaiming our importance, our, why we're here, that we can also take advantage of some of that to explain to people, and even all the way up to city council. It was very obvious, we just barely scraped by the skin of our teeth that we're still here. Let them know that what we're doing is good. It's best interest of the city, and it helps just basically get a better reputation. We did spend some time last year trying to boost this city's image to the city staff image, because at the same time we were going through growing pains and things here, that the staff was getting bashed, especially on social media, and let them know what we're doing right. And it takes that, it all works together, comes down to quality of life and communication.
Did we spend this amount last year? Is that what we spent last year for this?
Yeah.
And do we get guaranteed news and weather time slots?
Well, they don't actually, their news is, we do on the AM.
Okay.
But on the FM, they just run, we're not in specific spots. Their news is not sponsored.
Okay. And the news, is it like on the hour? Do they do a news thing? No. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, it's because of the market, and, you know, they have, you know, ABC News, and then they have local news, and they have, bulletin boards and different things. They are live, have a live DJ in the station now, Monday through Friday. And it's, David Phillips, thus the name Phillips Broadcasting. His
Right,
family's
yeah.
had it forever. So we do have the opportunity for, you know, that DJ to actually, you know, do some live promotion from the stations.
Sure, okay. And then is this price a packaged price? Are we getting some sort of bundle deal?
Yeah, this is based on an annual contract, obviously billed monthly, you know, depending what it is. But with the annual contract, we get that lower rate, rather than, you know, 12 to 15, and also giving consideration to the city. We keep it around $6, which $6 a spot is pretty cheap, even for this market.
And are you, their ad salesperson?
No,
Okay.
I get nothing
Who
from
do
this.
we deal with there?
Who do I deal with?
Yeah,
Rick.
Rick is their salesman.
okay,
Rick Newby, yeah. I actually deal more with the announcers, with David, the owner.
cool. I just always like to very publicly be transparent about what any connections.
Oh, yeah.
So just to make
And
sure
I-
you have one.
I have nothing out of this. I have managed it actually since the old tourism board days,
Yeah,
because it's where I can give most of my experience, the best place that I can put that. I can't come in and really explain the digital. I mean, I'm learning to understand it, but explain the digital, my background, many years of history with radio and television.
Mhm.
I have a degree in broadcast advertising. I've dealt with newspapers some. I'm not a big newspaper fan, possibly just because of not being as familiar with, you know, the best placement. I do like magazines when they are, you know, vetted to the point of, you know, exactly.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, they're all audited. That's always my problem with radio and the opposite, right? Back in the day when I started in newspapers, you could say, oh yeah, people are picking up the paper, or you could count subscriptions and that would be audited. But it was a bit slushy, right? Now with digital, there's a direct,
Right.
and that gets audited, right? For anyone who's promoting their advertising to a certain number of people. And so that's the thing with radio that always worries me, is that it's so slushy in terms of really being able to pinpoint exact numbers of audience reach.
Right. And that is why it is imperative that if you're going to do a radio campaign or even an annual schedule, that it's managed. You know, don't just throw them out there.
Right.
Give them
And
most-
who manages this for?
Me.
You manage it.
I have been since the early tourism days, because
Yeah.
I'm the only one with that much experience.
And so when you say manage, what exactly do we get for the 6,000 of you?
Making sure that the spots are run when they're supposed to run.
But they would have to give us a monthly accounting anyway, right? You should be able to get a.
And I review that. It'll come to, did you get the last months and stuff? Yeah. He gets them determined to be paid. I get a copy of it just, again, to make sure we're getting what we want. I write the copy. I also have part of my degree was in copywriting for radio and television.
Okay.
I write the copy. I try to, as best we can, to include in those spots, you know, like Fancy Spider, Santa Fe Trail Days, Cavemen, different things. It's not, in my opinion, advantageous to list a bunch of things happening,
Sure.
because it's like a grocery list, and you miss things because you're not explaining, you know, what this particular event is. You don't really have time to do that.
Yeah.
So with each of any spot we have running, I push the website, and with our new website, you know, it's makes it easier. People go see what's happening. You know, here's, you know, that's Santa Fe Trail Day, blah 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 blah, and for other events, you know, you know, go to.
And they don't have a calendar on their site or anything, it looks like.
No,
Okay. And then, so you do all of this for free, writing the copy on
well,
this?
I did it for 50 years.
Sure. I'm just, again, clarifying, like, I because I'm new to this and I've not worked with you before, I wanna make sure also for anyone who wants to know, like, how is this all working? Again, transparency.
I do it because I also do all the radio for Main Street Live. And, you know, I enjoy doing it. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, I gathered so much experience that I hate to just, you know, turn it off.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
Keep it going.
What is our advertising budget? Do we have a specific budget set for advertising?
I think it's A, the first line item.
We haven't subdivided this at all.
Okay.
So the overall budget, which we discussed last meeting,
Yeah.
$168,263 for marketing, advertising, and attracting conferences and meetings. $100K of that is to DIQ, so our balance is $68,263.
Okay.
So that is what we have to work with for the full year in terms of marketing and advertising efforts. And we may be kind of bending that around a little too. You know, if we have like a grant application where we say, here's this money, you can only use it to promote your thing. So yeah, that money could go pretty fast, but it's enough of a chunk of change that we can do some meaningful work with it, I think. But yeah, a little over 68,000.
I mean, I'd like to see us talking about, because I'm assuming that anything we do to do some fam trips would come out of that, right? And so I'd love to see us talk about like really targeting percentages to different things, right? How are we allocating this across a wide swath of types? And I do think radio should be a piece of that. But I also want to think about the fact that we're supposed to allocate a certain amount for like local things, quality of life things, and to me this has some overlap there. But then that needs to be considered in the whole big picture, right? Of like how are we allocating a percentage of this to really just locally promoting to get people to come to things like this fancy spider.
In terms of the breakdown, you know, quality of life really just comes into play in terms of like arts and culture and recreational facilities and programs. So it's not a separate percentage area. So I think that this would fall strictly in the marketing advertising bucket.
Right, which to me then argues for not maybe spending quite so much on radio, but I don't know, I'm just throwing it out for discussion.
Well, so my immediate reaction was wondering if we would want to reduce this overall amount of local, and if you want to put something together for some of our target markets, so some radio ads in Amarillo and Santa Fe,
Denver.
and
Yeah, the rest of my spiel was to make, you know, to take $10,000 out of that money and use it on radio with the local, because you know, it's so important that we make sure that the events that we're going to promote are supported locally. Get that information across, the things we can use it for. But to take $4,000, do a concentrated campaign in, you know, like, it's really hard to compete with activities in Albuquerque or any of the bigger markets.
Mm-hmm.
But we could hit Amarillo, we could hit Wichita Falls, could hit, you know, even possibly Lubbock, but at least two of those, and put together a package. And you're talking about your packages, your you know, stay here and all that stuff. You can go to those stations and get, if you spend $2,000 with a group of radio stations in Amarillo or even in Wichita Falls, and then give them something to promote, you know, as part of their promotions and giveaway. If we could give them a good, you know, 2 nights, family of 4, dinner, tickets to, you know, something that's going on here in town, make it a nice package, then we could take that, say we spend 2,000 in Emerald, you could take that and double it. They would give you 2,000 in promotion time, and then 2,000 cash. Usually, with something like that, if they're interested, they will, they will commit to that additional time because it helps them. That gives them something to give away, and then also get some cash for it.
It would have to be a whole separate giveaway for them though, probably. Right?
Yeah.
Can I just say something real quick? I think a representative from KCRT should be presenting, we're walking the fine line here with having the board member actually doing a proposal. So I think it would be better if an actual representative
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm trying to drill down to.
it is,
How is this working?
Well,
as a board member, you're representing them and it puts the board in an awkward position.
I disagree. I mean, I've talked to Rick. I've told him, that I'm going to come back and do this. What I'm basically doing is circumventing a need for a rep from the station to come and sell a station.
Yeah.
And bringing you all the information. Rick is a good guy. Rick is a salesman.
Yeah.
And
Well, and that's okay. I mean, the thing is, and that's what I kept asking, like making sure that there's no fiduciary
right.
connection for you of like writing this copy and that sort of thing. I see what you're saying. It's the same for me of going to this media meeting and trying to get people to come down here to cover us. I don't have so much a problem with this intermediary thing. What I am trying to drill down to is, if we have a finite amount of money, I'd love to hear the World Journal's proposal, like how much are they asking for to advertise? Do we advertise in the Chronicle? Do we advertise in the Chieftain and Pueblo? Like, I want to see a whole package, so I definitely don't want to make a decision on this right now. I'd like to keep talking and hearing about an entire year's package worth. And I wouldn't mind having Rick come here and tell us what this all would look like. I mean, I do.
Yeah.
What's your downside to doing that?
Rick would take up 45 minutes when we could do it.
Well, when you tell him, you get 20 minutes, give us your spiel, we want it in writing, I want to see what the whole proposal is.
See, what I'm doing here, because of my experience, having sold radio and everything else,
Sure.
I'm going to them with a proposal, telling them what I want us to do, not necessarily, because, again, salesmen are lazy. They just want.
Well, if they want our money and they want us to buy from them, I think they should be coming here and giving, Lainey came and told us what they're looking for and they're going to pull together a proposal.
Yeah.
I agree, there needs to be a little bit more separation here between you and them.
I don't
have a huge issue with it.
What's he
to me, this is like if I would just happen to throw on the agenda, like, hey, I have a print ad proposal.
Yeah.
Like, I went out and found these 3 magazines and these are their rates, Like, we would not expect to conference in all those magazines and have them sell us something. Like, this is totally fine by me. And, Chris knows what their going rates are. We've got a package together. We set to decide if it's something we would want to spend the money on or not. Because we don't even know if we can get this allocated until we bring it to council. So.
Right.
I like where your head is at in that we need to spend more time, really as soon as possible, dividing out that ad budget into where we would like to see it spent this year, so we can go out and do things like this, like exactly what Chris is doing.
Yeah.
I think that's totally appropriate. So if
Okay.
I'm like, hey,
I'm
Kyle,
fine
you're in
with
charge
that.
of
I mean, I'm not accusing Chris of doing anything. That's why I kept asking the questions I was. I want to make sure that for
the record,
understanding too is that there's a lot of
I
transparency.
don't even get any freebies from that.
Totally get that and appreciate your saying that. But I do think that there's a finite amount of money. We need to allocate it as wisely and with as big a ROI as possible. Also, in the 100K to DIQ, is there any advertising money in that?
It's social.
It's just social. Okay.
Just social and into the quarter of it into their pocket.
But I want to make sure, as we look at the big picture, how I understand where each of these allocations are, and so that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, so social ads, we can direct them to some extent to be like, include this in your
Yeah.
social advertising for the quarter, for the next couple of weeks or whatever.
Okay.
To follow up what you're talking about, looking at the whole thing, I would hope that we would have some way to sit down and look at everything that is available to us. You can never have enough to do everything
Well,
you
of
want
course
to do,
not.
but
Yeah.
maybe I think we should seriously look at possibility of a billboard between
Well, we talked about that before,
between
which is
Amarillo
super
and
pricey.
here, or between Clayton and here.
Yeah.
Do we look at some local newspaper? What's that going to do?
And beyond billboards too, I want to throw out, because as I was driving back from Santa Fe, I was thinking there are some signs, but like, what have we done in terms of, what are we able to do in terms of just signs for the things that you're able to do, like the attractions?
You talking about
signs?
permanent signs?
Yeah.
Most of that's up to the state.
Yeah, that's CTLTAB, and individual businesses buy those type of things.
I don't know what's happened to the billboards that Jared Chatterley was doing, because he was doing his.
One.
Huh?
There's only one.
Was it only one?
And Marty replaced it last year. It's tiny. It's at between exit 8 and exit 11 off of Corners Road. I mean, you could barely see it.
There was one between Raton and here.
That's the one.
That's what you're talking about. I thought he did some electronic boards or something
That I don't know about.
with his, true outdoors theme.
Right.
Anyway, that was, I don't know where he got the money to do those, but he did them. But also, to continue my rant here, look at promotions, in other communities. There are some communities, as we grow and get more funds, that we can do promotions even on television. Some of the best video footage we have on TV station, and even in Dallas, even in places where we can grow and do some of that, that is a big advantage. But the most immediate things we should look at is what is cost versus possible results for billboards, for some magazines and things that DIQ is not doing.
Yeah.
And there are other opportunities out there, and we need to figure out what they are. We can't wait.
Yeah.
We can't wait real long because of the lead time we need.
Right.
We need to, because we really need to start hitting spring to get everybody that's going anywhere to at least come through Trinidad.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying the reason that I push this so much is because of my expertise.
Sure.
And I do it. I got paid for it for so long,
Yeah.
and so well that if I can do this for Trinidad now, just out of my heart and pro bono, just like the things that you do for Trinidad now because of where you are, it's.
No, I totally agree and get that. But again, I think we need to have zoom out a little bit and have a bigger sense of what the options are, where the money could go,
Exactly.
what the return is on
And
those
this
things.
is just one.
And so this is a piece.
And
And so I definitely think it's a worthwhile piece. I do understand the value of radio, and appreciate that. I appreciate the time that you spent on it pro bono. I think that's awesome. So yeah, I think we figure out how do we want to divide and conquer on other options to bring
exactly.
to this.
I mean, I agree with you 100%. We need to put the whole thing together.
Yeah.
I just am not smart enough to put some of that other stuff
Oh no,
together.
it's smart.
I mean,
but
billboards
it's not your.
Billboards are easy.
Yeah.
You pick the right one, right side reader, where it is,
Yeah.
and everything else. But they are a little expensive.
No, 100%. I mean, I think 10K is what we'd be looking at to get a billboard.
Yeah, to be
So.
pretty strategic on
Yeah.
where that is as well.
Yeah.
So for me, gut reaction on radio is I'd rather flip the 60-40 split, whatever the total budget is, and have heavier spending in outside markets than locally. Keep both of them, but I think we need to big picture, be broadening our reach quite a bit more. And again, being strategic with that as well. So I like what you're saying about not trying to compete in Albuquerque, but picking Amarillo, like a few smaller sites where we can probably make a bigger impact. So yeah, I like that. But yeah, I would prefer to flip it and have the bulk of the spending external. Personally, that's where I would go with any radio.
Well, and the reason I kind of went that direction, I mean, because I agree, it is because of the added bonus we can get from those other markets. We can take $4,000 and make it $8,000.
Well, but so that's what I was kind of saying is if we have to have a dedicated giveaway, like we can't funnel everyone into the same weekend giveaway, and I don't foresee us really having the budget to put a bunch of those packages together. It's also a lot of admin time overhead to coordinate all that. So yeah, that to me feels like kind of biting off a little more than we could chew to be like, oh, we're going to advertise in these 5 cities. We need a separate giveaway for each of those cities.
Well, I don't know if we would do 5 cities. You would target where you're most likely to get. We don't have enough money to hit them all. So you go down and where can you make the most impact for this amount of people? Yeah, we could get people over here, but we're going to focus, like say Amarillo, and do a package there, do a 2-month run in the spring, push them and put together the package so that it works. So you only need, 1 package per market. So
do we have any demographics on where people come from to here? Is there any kind of?
As far as I know,
Yeah, there's
sure
older data.
yeah.
But what about
I think
spending
they've
some
done
money to
studies.
find out exactly what that is? Like how,
Do some studies.
yeah, do some,
Well,
figure out where they're really coming, because we can say all we want, but a ton come from Amarillo, but what is our basis?
the non-scientific,
I'm not interested in that.
No, we have
Serious
data.
I want data.
It's just a few years old.
Okay,
So-
so how did we get that data? What did we spend on getting that data? And can we allocate some money to finding that out so that we are better informed moving forward about where they really come from?
let me tell you, my non-scientific approach
Sure.
is Saturday morning farmers market, and the number of people that are from Texas or from even Amarillo or around is far above anything else.
Sure, but that's also those people coming to your booth and you asking them. about
Exactly,
it.
that's why I said.
And so, does everybody who comes to the farmer's market end up at your booth? I don't know. I mean, I've been there, I've been to your booth, but I don't go to your booth every time, right? And so I just feel like anecdotal is so slushy, and that's also one place that you're asking people.
I'm
Where
not
do they
saying,
come the rest of the time?
I'm not saying that that's what we need to focus on. I'm just saying that that's kind of leading to something. If we can, buy information, to go ahead and get it.
That's what I
Yes,
want to know. Yes.
but I would
Yes.
think still it would follow probably year after year after year. I mean,
So, looks like this was a CTO program. I don't know what Trinidad had to do to participate in terms of funding or
Okay.
signing up. Datafy was the company that did it with the Office of the CTO. This is year-over-year visitor comparison, 2019 to 2022. We also have a regional Canes and Plains data. All of this is in the drive, so
Okay.
you can dig into it.
I'll take a look at that.
But broadly speaking, looking at visitor trends by states, it's Colorado, it's Texas #1, Colorado, New Mexico. And then everything else is way behind that. Arizona's the next, and then California, but they're significant drops. I don't know if they have this broken down by
By city,
Metro.
yeah, or areas.
Yeah, so Denver, Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Amarillo, Houston, Phoenix, Prescott, Oklahoma City, Austin, San Antonio.
So Dallas Fort Worth is higher than Amarillo?
Significantly.
So that's what I'm saying, is that.
Well, yeah,
5 to 6%.
Can you afford to go? Yeah, I would definitely say, I get people that say it too. I ask everybody that comes to my booth, unless I know, hi, where are you from?
Sure,
You're from here,
sure.
and everything else, simply for my own.
Yeah, oh no, I'm not saying that your data is bad, I'm just saying it is anecdotal. So he's saying that, say it again, Denver Springs.
Denver Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, then Amarillo. And at that point, after Albuquerque, you're dropping off into the 5% or
Yeah,
less.
to Santa Fe and Amarillo. So that's what you're saying, that Amarillo is very small compared to, why are we not looking
Even
at Dallas?
Albuquerque is multiple percentage points higher. Dallas Fort Worth is
Yeah.
double-digit percentage.
So bingo, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why we would spend money in Amarillo if we could be spending
Because
money
we
in
can't
Dallas.
afford to go to Dallas.
Dallas.
We can't afford to spend.
See, I don't know that that's true. I wanna hear. Yeah, I mean, Chris, I believe that your experience says that, but I want somebody to tell me that. Like, I want to hear from somebody in Dallas Fort Worth, but also maybe we don't do radio in Dallas Fort Worth if you're saying it's exponentially more expensive, and we spend money on the Dallas Morning News, or we spend money on another avenue, right? Like, what are other options? Because just saying this and then going and spending $6,000 and then you're saying another $4,000 in Amarillo, I'm not sure that there's a reward there, because he's saying that the data is showing it's significantly less. So then let's look at what are other opportunities in Dallas Fort Worth that maybe aren't super expensive radio that we don't get an ROI on. Again, there's multiple newspapers in those areas, there's multiple magazines and regional Texas magazines that would hit Amarillo, but also hit these other larger markets.
Yeah, and when we have more money to allocate to it, I'm talking about what we
I
have.
want to hear what the money is before we make any decisions. I want to know what that dollar amount is. What are you saying? Are you saying it's $12,000 to spend in Dallas Fort Worth, or are you saying it's $8,000 to spend in Dallas Fort Worth?
Okay, again, not to argue, because it'd be up to a vote, and we don't vote, but with experience in buying for a major tourist attraction, it was cost prohibitive to really buy in Dallas.
I understand, but I want to hear those numbers before we vote on spending $6,000 to be on your say so. I just do. I want to hear some numbers. I want to hear how much it costs.
I've spent over $1 million in marketing.
I understand that, but you're not answering my question. How much does it cost to do this in Dallas Fort Worth? That's what I want to hear and know, based on that data.
Just somebody sit down and start calling and finding out.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm not gonna do it because I already know what the answer is.
Then tell us, what is the answer? What
We
is
can't afford it.
That's not an answer. That's not, I'm sorry. I mean, I adore you and I love radio, but that's not an answer for me to vote on dollars that we have a finite amount of. But also, now we have some solid information of where those markets are coming from. I want to be spending in those markets. I don't want to be spending.
Part of that is skewed by population. You're gonna obviously get more from Dallas Fort Worth because there's millions of people.
Right, and I want more of them to come here.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't,
Yeah.
it's still the overall percentage of visitors who have come here. So
Yes,
that's
so
what we want.
So that's what we want. I want to reach more of them. So I'm happy to take that. If that's what you're saying, is that you don't want to do that because you know the answer already, but I don't have an answer. So I'm going to look into what it would cost for a variety of things. I want to look at all the different things, and I will come back here next meeting and I will have a breakdown of what it would cost to put some dollars into those top markets. I'm going to go into the drive, I'm going to look at those numbers, and I'm going to come up with a proposal that gives us a broad avenues of what kinds of advertising we can do and what those breakdowns might be. Because I think that's a valid thing to vote on, is looking at where those people are coming from and then targeting them and allocating the dollars accordingly, percentage-wise.
I have to agree that, like I said previously, I'd rather look at external markets. I mean, this data is 4 years old at this point for the freshest data in here, but looking at it year over year, you don't see a lot of changes. So Dallas Fort Worth actually leapfrogged the Springs in 2020, but then it goes back to Denver Springs. Dallas, so.
Where was Colorado Springs in there? I mean,
Springs is the second. It's Denver, Springs, Dallas, Albuquerque, Amarillo.
So I also want to look at Denver and Colorado
Yeah.
Springs
yeah,
advertising.
Colorado Springs is affordable.
Yeah, the Springs would be a good.
Again, to get you up there. You got about
We
50,
definitely
$60 spots.
Get a lot of people who will do weekend trips on a whim out of Springs. I think that's a good market to
Yeah.
target for sure.
Okay,
I mean, there's lots of places to go. It just depends on,
sure.
you know, how much, we don't have that much money right now, so.
But we do have some money, and I want to spend it on behalf of this city as best we can.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And that's why, with my experience and expertise, that is what I'm recommending. If we
Sure.
want to find something else instead of what I recommended, that's fine.
Okay. Well, I at least want to consider it. I at least want to have,
Oh, I considered it.
I want the entire board to consider it. I want everybody to have input on this. And I very much appreciate your expertise on this and what you're bringing to us. But I also am not hearing any numbers, and I want to hear some numbers. If we have $50,000 to spend on advertising, I want to make sure every penny of that goes to the best possible use for
I agree.
the city. So let's just hear it. It's possible that after we do all of this, I'll come back and say, oh my gosh, look, here, I have the breakdowns, and Chris is right, this is our best expenditure of money. But you're coming with just radio and just this very specific avenue. I want to look at all the options and have all the dollar amounts, so then we can sort of buffet style pick and choose which things will combine for the best reach overall possible.
I came with what I like best.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. But I'm also, I'm concerned that I'm not hearing numbers from you on Dallas Fort Worth. I want to hear what those are. I want to hear Denver, Colorado Springs. I want to hear the numbers. Because I would never come to you and say, we should advertise in the Denver Post and that's all that we should do, without saying, because comparatively, here are the other options we have and here's what they cost. Yeah, I just want to be able to look at them and compare, because we're spending not our money, we're spending somebody else's money. As in the cities, right? The people's money. So I just like to be really thorough on that to make sure we're doing the right thing.
That's what discussions.
Exactly. Yes, I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Okay, what else? So
we have-
revisit that next
Yeah,
time.
revisit radio. I would mostly want to. So we're talking about budget. That's our last agenda item. So, and that definitely kind of spiraled into a broader discussion around our amount of funds for marketing advertising efforts. So with that in mind, miscellaneous, I would just say, do we want to quickly, we don't have to necessarily vote or have it confirmed today, but maybe pencil in a split. So we've got just under $70,000, right? And so we can spend that on any number of advertising efforts. So that includes things like the passport. We're looking at somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000.
You also can do like just a separate work session, just to iron out that budget, and pull up some numbers on the screen, and you guys can build your own spreadsheet
Yeah,
and kind of.
it is going to take some time to go down into specifics, but I was just thinking broad strokes, right? That might take a little bit of research though. So, but we have to move pretty fast on that. This is stuff we should be doing really beginning of Q4, tail end of Q3 in terms of next year's budget split. We didn't have the numbers at hand until the last meeting in terms of what that actually was going to be. But mostly just saying times of the essence there. As Chris was mentioning, we want things out in the wilds in the springtime.
Absolutely, yeah.
And don't forget your grant round opens by the time the next meeting starts. So
For the other grant. Yeah.
and then grants.
Okay.
So, I'm going to try and do a little research on general recommendations on, like, media split, what percentage
Of
do
the
you want to do
percentages.
here,
And
here,
then
here.
I will take on getting some of these larger markets, what some advertising dollars would look like and what we would get for them to present as
Are you gonna do specifically radio or just?
So I'm gonna do it all,
media
we
mix?
do it all,
Okay.
yeah, because I do that already for my own work, like we advertise in 5280, we do, for my nonprofit, we do a lot across, and so I have the media kits from all of those, and so I can pull that together fairly easily. Yeah,
Okay, so let's see what our agenda is looking like on the next meeting. If it is not very full, let's plan to spend a good amount of time on this. If
Okay.
it is full, we can look at a separate work session.
right,
Things definitely crop up, but,
Yeah.
I mean, today's was relatively light. So.
yeah,
That sounds good. The only other miscellaneous I had relatedly, I think this might have came up very briefly, but the Raton Visitors Guide is open for ads. I don't think it would be bad to spend some money. Full page ad is $12.50, $6.25 for a half page, $3.15 for a banner size. That's in the print book itself. The higher 2 tiers get you some website coverage as well as social media. The banner ad is just a quarterly social media.
Where is this?
For the Raton Visitors Guide.
Is that the thing I sent you, or did you?
Well, I got it independently as well, but yeah, I think you forwarded it to me. So yeah, that needs to be paid by March 15th if we go for that.
Okay.
So that could be part of our advertising mix.
Yeah.
You want to put on the agenda for a vote next?
I think we need to have this overall discussion first,
Okay.
in terms of,
okay,
because then we
that's good to
decide,
know. I'll
okay,
put
if we
that
have this
on
much
the
money set
spreadsheet
aside for
and I'll
print
put
ads, the Raton ad is one of those.
And it doesn't have to be, it's not due till March?
March 15th is when we have to pay. In front of council,
Yeah.
at least 2 weeks before that, really.
You're right.
The only other thing I had on miscellaneous was I was reading back through the ordinance, and since we are being very intentional about following that, is that we did not ever decide who was doing what, right? And we were supposed to in our first meeting of the year. So you're the chair,
I mean, I'm an acting chair.
acting chair.
Only.
But the ordinance does say, so I just wanted to mention that, and so since Eric's not here, I say we vote him to do all of it, and then just walk out.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, we would have a fifth prior to that.
And that was the other question, we talked last time about possibly posting to try to get a fifth.
It's been
On
posted.
that, it has been posted.
But it's a roll up with there's a shitload of
Okay,
vacancies
of
right now.
vacancies.
And that's kind of, looking back, the reason we didn't go further than chair was that we were waiting for a fifth.
A
Right.
fifth, right, right.
Yes.
I just wanted to mention it because we
Yeah.
were saying, and it specifically says, your first meeting of the year, each time you should be voting on who is,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, and I'm also
So,
still being the secretary.
I know,
So,
and which is unfair, and so that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
I do think we
But
should
you
do
can
that,
say
but
chair,
also.
secretary.
I'd rather keep doing that than chair.
The chair, right, but again, since
You
Eric's
can
not
do the
here,
chair,
we'll have our fifth. Shoot, on this fifth person, I really would love to have one more voice in here.
Yeah, maybe I'll prod.
We could keep posting it, kind of Veronica put another, just a separate one, just for.
That might be helpful, because, yeah, thank you, I appreciate
Because
that.
I think they were all grouped together.
And there's a lot to it's something you might bounce right off.
Didn't we discuss a possible fifth person to invite that somebody knew last?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it to Jeff Montoya, who has lots of relevant experience, but I don't know if he has the time or the inclination. He said maybe I'll do it, so I could poke him again, just say like, hey, like we really could use a fifth person.
But you had talked to him about it, maybe?
Yeah, because he was blowing me up with a bunch of feedback, and I was like, well, you know what? It'd be great to just have you on the board. We have an opening, and he said maybe I'll do it. So,
It all got messed up when they changed after tourism board to LTAB. But used to the board itself would discuss and meet with people and then make a recommendation to the council. And they would get it.
okay.
That kind of got waylaid when everything went to hell. But,
Yeah. Yeah,
They so I think this board should veto and then make recommendations to the city council. City council has so much to do and everything, and for them to try to delve into, okay, is that the
Right.
best person or not? If we give them even one or two people, you know,
But if we do that, does that person's, like, when I did this, I had to go present in front of the council, right? And
Right.
so even if we recommend, does that person still have to go? And yes, okay.
yes,
I just wanted to
we
clarify that
did it too. Yeah, back then, you still went and talked to them,
Right,
but they
okay.
usually were satisfied with the fact that we thought they would be good. Now, we didn't always make the best decisions. You know, over the years, there were a couple who got on and was like,
Sure, I mean, people will say that
That
they'll
happens,
be in,
but
and they'll come and they'll do the work.
but
that
it's
they
easier
need
for us to do it than it is the city councils.
Yeah, okay.
It's more
I don't know,
layered.
doesn't Molly want to do it? Does Molly want to do it?
She doesn't have
Time.
relevant experience.
Oh, she
in- No, it's not her realm. Also, she's on Main Street Board, yeah, I don't think she can do another.
Oh, okay, she's on the Main Street.
Is that our van? We bought that van 2 or 3 years ago too.
Yeah, we see that when we drive home, because it's usually parked over by the,
I thought it was bigger.
gas station. No, it's a cute.
I mean, it's got 3 rows of seating in there, or
Yeah.
even 4.
It's totally cute. And who?
That's something else we could talk about as
Yeah, what does it
boards.
get used for? What's?
Random city stuff right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was to supplement the trolley.
I think what they used it for last time was the police department had their home campaign for New Year's Eve.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good
yeah,
use.
yeah, that's an excellent use, okay.
It would be interesting to think about some type of hotel circuit with that, but obviously that would take
Yes.
a portion of the budget.
Yes.
But I'm always thinking about all the
Oh,
hotels that they
I
can love
love
in there.
that, yeah.
Okay, any other miscellaneous for today? Okie dokie. Well, still be thinking about, we punted on the Santa Fe Trail Days, working with the city on that, but just have that percolating in mind so we have some actual concrete ideas
Yeah,
to share with them. But yeah, ways to make that more of a broader tourism draw is the general
right,
idea.
well, especially for the 150th, that combo dovetailing together. And, so is there other stuff planned yet for the 150th?
There's different types of shows throughout the year. There's possibly doing the projectors like they did with the winter, where they have a slideshow on each building of old buildings. So
Yes,
um,
okay.
that was brought to me last week by the person that does it. His numbers were a little extreme, but it was close to I think like $30,000 if we were to do something like that. But it would be on several buildings. So we also do have an artist that's going to go into the schools and put on like and then there's going to be like a real like show of like it's a musical type of event that's going to happen somewhere in the fall. So you guys are doing on that. Is anybody coming to the party on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm hoping to. I'm actually driving back from Denver that day, because that's my Vegas trip, but I'm flying in Saturday night, so I'm going to Denver.
What's happening Sunday?
Oh, so you're going to go see J-Lo, right?
No, it's the Wizard.
Oh, that's right. Please bring your apple if you got one.
I will.
There's a party, 150th party here at Sweets to Create.
At noon, it starts at noon to
The Historic Society is going to put on some type of brief announcement. They're going to have food, cake.
That's not when is the state of the city?
That is next Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Wednesday? No.
Yes, and then there's one tomorrow at noon.
like a forum, exciting forum.
It's, yes,
Town hall,
like a little town hall.
And the side wants to do a state of the union.
That,
Yeah, that's
That's
the thing that's.
the next Wednesday,
Yeah, I'm
with
sorry
the
I
county.
missed that, yeah.
but Tom's gonna record it, so.
Excellent.
It'll be live
Thank you,
streamed.
Tom.
And what
Thanks
is
for
the
doing
department?
this. I just hope that you do
It's
this.
Sunday at 12:30 to 3, I think, celebrating 150 years of Trinidad.
And who's sponsoring it? City?
Yes.
That's the city, yeah.
That's what
And I should have forwarded that to the board,
Is
because
there
Audra did say share
Yes.
this with your
Really?
Yeah.
It is.
She said what?
Share this with your boards.
Oh,
For the park.
dang.
That is where that fourth line item is coming from, that when the city council decides where those funds come from, that's where this is.
Miscellaneous.
Yes.
I don't know how I miss those things like that.
Are you on Facebook or are you
Yeah.
on Chatter?
Yeah.
I don't know the.
Where your chair was
They've
supposed
been-
to send it to you.
That one I
Oh!
Well, I guess I could have done that too, though.
Are reluctant.
No, I mean, I'll just straight up send share
Yeah,
this
you
with
might
your
want
boards.
to take that over. Take care of it.
Does anybody want to, so I can put you on the RSVP
I can't, I gotta work
Of
on
when,
show.
of which?
on Sunday,
The,
dinner, the lunch?
oh, this did, Sunday, no, I'm in tomorrow, sorry.
If you didn't say,
Thank you though.
What?
what you were asking?
If you wanted to be put on the RSVP list.
Yeah,
Okay. Just one?
well, unless you let dogs go.
No. I mean, we are dog friendly.
That's my roommate, so
We are dog friendly.
he doesn't get too picky. If I bring him back something, he's okay.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay, ooh, I'd love to get this 20 minutes started.
Send me information if you would.
Well, would you motion?
I move
There's
to,
nothing, besides
send
he says
meetings.
come and celebrate with us. It's a small little ad, not ad, but like a little post on Facebook. And has like a picture of a
Check
kid.
it out, just it's a,
Yeah, they did put it out publicly too, yeah,
Yeah.
they gave one to go. Chris, we have a motion to adjourn.
what?
Yes. All right, all in favor?
Aye.